Hello, beautiful humans! I'm Kayla,
And I'm Ashley. Welcome to your soul. Welcome.
a podcast of belonging for humans exploring their deepest hearts.
We are so happy to have you here.
Yes, as we do life together, it is one of our greatest pleasures to be doing this with you today and every other day. And if you're just like hanging out binging our episodes, hi, thank you. And if you've been with us from like the very beginning or something, hi, thank you.
And if you just stumbled across us for the very first time,
hello, hi, thank you for being here.
we appreciate you.
We so fucking appreciate you.
All of you.
We thought we would do a chiller style of episode since we tackled a couple of heavier topics in our last two.
Yeah.
We talked about how to fix broken self-love, which is clearly like that is a cavern of a topic, you guys. There's so much to be able to say there.
There really is.
And then our most recent one that'll drop right before this one is, who am I and how do I become more of just myself?
Yeah.
And that also felt like a heavier
It really
topic. So today we wanted to talk about what we're currently working through, things that might be hopefully really relatable to the people listening, to you guys listening, because this podcast is very much one, like we've said before, about doing the work and doing it together.
did.
And some of that like comes up in really vulnerable moments where we're sitting with our realness.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I know that I'm currently working through or working with is my hairy legs for the summer. So I mean, I feel like last summer I had this beautiful reclamation of my leg hair. I really let it grow out and I was like, why can't I be like one of those people on the internet who just lets their leg hair fly?
Yeah.
And I discovered some things about my leg hair that I really quite enjoyed. Like the way that it swishes in pool water.
Yeah.
I was like, why do dudes never talk about how like luscious it feels to have your little hair follicles like massaged by the pool water?
Is it fun?
It's so fun. It's really nice.
I love that.
And I would never have known if I didn't try to like embrace my natural state. And also the wind tickling your little leg hairs feels phenomenal. Carrie told me that Carrie, my husband, for those of you if you don't know him yet, he said that guys don't talk about things like that because it's just normal. So it never occurs to them to like think about that sensation anymore, which makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That checks out. But anyway.
Like, because I don't notice it on my arm hairs.
No, because they're really short, or at least mine are.
Well, mine are not super short. They're thinner. They're whatever, but
you're probably used to that sensation.
Yeah,
Your mind doesn't clock it as something new.
Oh, now I might have to rock some hairy legs at the pool.
It's really kind of fun.
I'm very interested in feeling this experience.
I fully recommend it. And while I was really excited to like reclaim my leg hair and be the person I desire to be, there was also a lot of like anxiety wrapped up in doing that. There was a lot of me kind of coaching myself into those like big bold moments, which I know leg hair doesn't sound like it's a really bold statement about yourself, but it really felt like it for me. And maybe it feels that way for other people because it's such a non-standard of beauty.
Right.
So with it being spring, I have already started thinking about like, well, am I going to shave or am I going to have another summer of this like leg hair reclamation? Am I going to like do both? I really, okay. By do both, I mean like shave sometimes and let it grow other times. I really struggle with my view of myself
Mhm.
wearing dresses with leg hair.
Okay. What if, and
Yes.
maybe this is just my artistic crazy side, right?
I like your artistic crazy side. Bring it
What if
on.
we, you know how they have like all sorts of leave-in conditioners and all sorts of
Yeah.
for color. What if we
Color my leg hair.
colored your leg hair? It would be like soft little cotton candy, like leg hair moment. Cause
I
I
don't
think that could
dislike
be
that
real
inherently.
cute.
You know my eco-conscious self is just like, "But the chemicals." So I would have to, like,
We could
look
get
into that.
super vegan, cruelty-free
I mean, cruelty-free is, like,
for
my base
sure.
standard, like,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Absolutely, yes.
Then I start to worry about the, like, endocrine disruptors and all the other chemical bad things that I know are out there.
Mhm.
But I'm not inherently opposed to the idea, especially if there's some sort of dye that feels, I don't know, better
Safe?
for me. Yeah, safe,
Yeah, yeah.
safe.
Because there's so many brands out there that do
Mhm,
amazing things. I think that might be fun. I think I might do that. I know in the conversations about body hair and things like that,
mhm.
um, my I have 3 daughters, right? The
Yes.
eldest is 19. I've got 2, a 13-year-old and an almost 13-year-old.
Mhm.
And last summer, one of them was like, "Mom, you know, I'm not wearing shorts this summer without shaving my legs. Like, I'm really aware of it, and I'm really
Okay.
self-conscious about it."
Sure.
And I was like, "Okay, I hear you, I get you.
Mhm.
I've been there. I remember. I
Yeah.
remember trying to, like, shave my legs in secret before I got approved to, like, shave my legs
Oh,
because I was like, 'There's no way.'"
that's so interesting.
Yeah.
I think my mom just let me as soon as my sister and I were interested.
I think maybe I was even too embarrassed to ask.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah, and so I just started doing it.
How did that work for
I
you?
mean, not great because I didn't know what the heck I was doing.
Mhm. I get that. I was just watching I've got long COVID, you guys, so when I rest, I watch a lot of, like, dumb shows on Netflix or HBO Max or whatever. So I was watching, Young Sheldon
Yeah,
on HBO Max, and his, like, twin sister,
mhm,
Missy, tries to shave her own legs, and there's the scene with her and her grandma because she
mhm,
didn't wanna go to her mom.
right.
Um, she comes to her with her, like, leg all, like, sliced up. They
Oh,
didn't show it,
yeah,
but, like, it was implied, and then they showed her leg, like, covered in Band-Aids
yeah,
after the grandma took care of her, so I understand that not feeling safe to even
yeah,
talk about it.
right, and I had the conversation with my daughter, like, "You don't have to,"
Mhm.
because I wanted her to know that, like, when I started shaving my legs, I felt like I had to shave my legs
Yeah, same. It's just what you did.
because if I didn't shave my legs, I was going to get made fun of, right? And, like,
Mm,
you had to have clean shaven legs to wear shorts, otherwise you were gonna be the gross kid or, like,
that's so
something,
interesting.
and, like, it's not that way anymore. I was like,
That's so
there because
nice.
there are a lot of younger kids, and I see this working in the schools too, like, um, where a lot of younger women now are just opting not to, and
Good for
good
them.
call, because I feel like once you start shaving your legs, regrowing your leg hair out is like a giant pain in the butt, because like, it gets like that stubbly, prickly phase and like that
Mhm.
itchy phase, and like it
You're just
grows in
describing my
thicker, and like it's
basic fall
oh,
hair
like
routine.
like
As soon as it's only leggings,
yeah,
I let that happen.
like just leave it long and soft. Or because
Yes.
like once you start shaving, like it's a world of prickly pears. Okay. So like
Until you get it all the way back long again.
yes, and
'Cause
then it's long and soft.
it is long and soft, it's
And
nice.
that's fine. But so I talked to her about it. We talked about different options,
Mhm.
and the option we went with was like an electric razor.
Oh,
And
nice.
that's what she does. And that's what I've decided last summer. That's what I decided I'm going to do. Like, I'm
Mhm.
not messing around with a razor anymore
Mhm.
because I don't want to get razor burn. My legs do not get super smooth. Like, I don't have like super smooth legs. Like, if somebody,
Mhm, but they're
no,
not hairy
yeah,
when
but
people
like,
look at it.
nobody should be brushing up on my legs besides like
The
Mark,
approved
probably. Yeah.
people.
But, like, so if somebody brushes up against my leg or, like, gets real close and looks in, like,
That's on
I've
them.
got some stubbly on my legs, or if the sun catches me just right, like, it's gonna catch a little stubble, fine, but I'm in there for, like, 2 or 3 minutes, not in the shower, just, like, using the little $8 electric razor from, like, Target or whatever,
Mhm.
just doing a quick
Do you mean
little.
like a beard trimmer or like one of those
No,
one
it's
that
like
lays flat on your skin?
yeah, it's like they're, like, shaped kind of like this. And, like,
For
there's,
the
like, little
audio
colors.
people
Oh,
listening
so it's
without
shaped
video.
kind of like the palm of your hand. Like, it looks
Mhm.
kind of like the palm of your hand, and then on the top, it has, like, one of those, like, foil
Oh,
roller
okay,
things,
yes.
and then, it has, like, 2 little things that get, like, the longer hairs and then, like, the little roller foil that gets kind of close to your skin.
Okay.
Like, and it's, like, $8 at, like, Dollar General or Target or whatever.
I
It's,
always
like
wanted to use one of those when
like,
I was a kid.
2 AAA batteries. Okay, so I'll tell you a story. My
Lay it on me.
grandma, who I love and miss, who's no longer with us, um, Miss
Oh,
Rose is
Rose says
seeing
hello.
a squirrel or somebody outside, and she is barking.
I'm betting it's another dog.
Rose, who do you see, sweet girl?
She's just saying hi to everyone.
I wonder if our microphones can pick her up, or
Yeah, I
if
don't
they
know.
well, we'll listen back.
We'll find out.
Yeah. So Rose is barking real loud. If you can't hear her, that's what we're reacting to. Anyways, my sweet grandma, when I was younger and started shaving, I started shaving, and um,
Mhm.
when I wasn't supposed to, it got around the family. Like, my mom told like my aunts and everybody, right? And then my grandma was like, "Oh, I can get you an electric razor." And I was like, "Oh, great."
Look at Grandma go.
She bought me an epilator.
I don't know what that is.
An epilator, my friends, is a little device that pulls out your hairs
That
one
is not a
by one.
shaver. That sounds terrible.
It hurts so bad.
It's
Okay.
like slow motion waxing.
Yeah. And it hurt real bad, and I didn't like it. Okay. And I didn't use it.
Fucking
No. And I
no.
didn't use it, and I didn't want to use it. Thanks.
Well, Grandma tried to
She
support
really
you.
did.
It was an act of love.
Yes. It was an act of love. She does not want to talk about shaving her legs.
Oh, Rose is very anti-shaving, just so that we're clear. She's like so epically anti-shaving.
Come here, Rose.
Pumpkin pie. There's nothing we can do about whatever you saw in the circle. Good girl. Good girl, babe. So, please let me know if you also have leg hair concerns. Are you in a phase of reclaiming your leg hair? Did you reclaim it one summer and, like me, are trying to decide if you want to continue claiming your leg hair? You want to
Pause
pause that,
up.
baby?
Here's Rose down here. Oh, she was real sneaky. Right below the table. Just sneaky enough so you guys can't see her.
It's true. She's settled right down. You're such a good girl, babe. Yeah, let me know. So that's one of the things that I know is weighing on my heart right now, and I'm
Mhm.
trying to be really compassionate with myself about it because I think no matter what decision I make, it gets to be the right one for
Right.
me.
Absolutely.
I tried the reclaiming, and if
Mhm.
I decide to shave, I think that's okay. And maybe I'll do half and half, you know?
One leg and one leg not. Is that what you mean?
That is not what I meant. I meant be flexible with my shaving
Oh,
habits.
okay.
Um,
I was just for clarification's sake.
I mean, so true. Or just half of both legs.
Yeah, at, like, stripes.
I'm not skilled enough for that.
I could help.
I only have a stripe vibe if I miss a spot, miss a
Yeah,
row.
yeah, yeah. Been there, done that.
Even then, it's usually like a V-shaped patch
Yeah,
of
yeah.
some.
Yep,
Anyway,
for sure.
so that's one of the things on my heart right now.
Yeah.
What's on your heart for you?
The the biggest thing that I'm really working on right now is trying to figure out how to manage my time.
You have mentioned this a couple times.
As I'm not the best manager of time.
What are you instead?
I am flying by the seat of my pants most of the time. So that's what I am doing.
I get you.
Um, I generally will wait until I have a deadline of something, and then I'm like, "Oh, here's this deadline," and then I can work backwards from the deadline. Um, but, like, right now, I don't really have a specific deadline.
Right.
So
Because you just turned in the logos you did,
mhm,
and
and, like, I've got the stuff
or I
ready
guess
for the subscription
I
services
guess
and
you
things like that.
delivered. You didn't turn in like it was a class assignment. You delivered.
Yeah. Um, but I just I want to keep myself accountable so that I'm doing things for my business consistently
Sure.
so that I'm not waiting until there's another deadline and then I'm overwhelming myself again.
Okay.
So
And
I
that makes sense.
yeah, I want to make sure I'm
Working on your business in like small, sustainable chunks.
yes,
That makes sense.
because what happens is if I don't do that, then I sign up for an event or sign up to vend for an event, and then I'm
Hmm.
like, "Okay, I need to make a ton of stuff in the next 4 days," and then my living room becomes a disaster zone, and
Right.
there's painting strewn about and things getting done, and my brain is a mess, whereas I want to be making things more consistently,
Hmm.
day to day, in a more organized fashion so that I can be prepared.
Totally.
Um
So what does that look like for you? Whatever your consistency you imagine in your head, what does that look like?
I am hoping to eventually get to a place where I can make a schedule for myself where I'm doing, um, like, big paintings 1 day a week or 1 day every 2 weeks or
Sure.
something like that, or maybe 2 days in a row because it takes a lot of setup.
Hmm.
Um, and then working on, like, smaller things a couple days. Um, the other day, what I did, I sat down to paint and I went through, some of the things that I wanted to paint. I went through a bunch of the pages that I wanted to paint, and I organized them by with sticky notes of what I wanted to paint on each page, so I
Oh, that's great.
labeled them all of what's going on each page, um, and then made a stack and then just started working on the first painting on the first page,
Hmm.
and then when I go back, I will be able to go back in and with fine lines and finish that page and then do the wash or the background of the next page,
Sure.
and then when I, leave that to dry, then I'll come in and finish that one and then do the background of the next one and until that's done, and then I'm hoping that will be kind of a sustainable system.
For
It's
sure.
really hard, um, to be accountable to myself because I'm like, "Oh, it's a beautiful day."
Well, and you've mentioned that your ADHD plays into that.
Yeah, it really does. Because what if I don't have what if I'm not feeling it that day?
Totally. Well, and I know that you're very much a proponent of not wanting to engage in hustle culture
Yeah,
either.
right.
So how does that
Rose.
Rosaloo. How does that balance with also wanting to be consistent also?
Yeah, I think that's where, like, trying to make a schedule will help because when I'm not having a schedule and then I go to plan an event or go to sign up for something and then I find myself in that overwhelm, in that, like, trying to hustle in the
Mhm.
last minutes or those last couple days, I don't like that, and I know that when the day comes and the event is there, I want to be able to be
Be your
yeah,
zazzy
be
fun
my
self.
I want to be able to be there with all of my bubbles present, you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
because it's fun. I love interacting with people and meeting all the people and showing them everything I've worked hard on, and I would really like to do that without being exhausted.
Yeah. Totally. I wonder if this is a helpful perspective because I
Mhm.
know you mentioned like if it's such a beautiful day, you might not want to do the work.
Yeah.
I've often found that as an entrepreneur
Mhm.
or as a person who works from home, I do my work outside a lot in the
Mhm.
spring, summer, and fall. If it is warm enough for me to be outside, I will take my whole situation outside,
Yeah.
and it totally takes some time to set up for sure. Like to take out my desk chair and take out my laptop and
Mhm.
all of the like recording equipment if I'm like doing reels or
Right.
something. Um, but it's so worth it.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a pain to set up, but then when I'm out there and my whole world is like my office, that feels so good.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's helpful. Like would doing art outside feel good?
Yeah, I think so, for sure.
Okay.
I definitely I definitely think that would be very helpful. And I think a lot of the times what I'm doing is pretty portable. Like, I can take my iPad, which is what I do a lot of my digital art
Mhm.
on, and so, like, for stickers and for, like, the coloring pages, things that go out in the subscription service, all of that is very easily portable,
Nice.
um, and then a lot of, like, sketching and pre-drawing, things like that, I can take with me and do in a sketchbook.
Which is also nice.
Very portable, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the more you can dream ways of weaving pleasure and
Mhm.
joy and perhaps good weather
Yes.
into your work that might help with your consistency.
Yeah.
I do not have good advice for the winter time. That's also a thing that I've been
I love
really
winter.
struggling with this year is my seasonal depression. And I wouldn't have said in past years that I really suffered from seasonal depression. Um but this year I've really found myself just fucking yearning for
Mhm.
spring and for the sun. And I did get my blood work checked recently, so my vitamin D is super low. So if you find yourself feeling that way, perhaps check in with your doctor
Yeah.
about your vitamin D levels. So, which I've been on a supplement for vitamin D, but my body wasn't absorbing it very well, my nurse practitioner said. So,
Is there another way to get vitamin D? Is that one that you can put, like, on your skin?
from what my nurse practitioner has said and from what I've read, doing it sublingually,
Oh,
like
yeah, under
putting
the
the
tongue.
liquid under your tongue is the best way to do it.
Okay.
I think my problem was that I was putting it in along with my B12 at the same time, and
Oh,
I think something about the B12 wasn't letting the
okay.
vitamin D absorb, so I'm doing
Yeah.
them separately now,
Okay.
which I feel like is nice.
Yeah.
I can't say that I felt a difference.
Mhm.
I did feel a really big difference when I admitted that my seasonal depression was
Yeah.
becoming a problem. Um, as soon as I, like, confessed it
Yeah.
to you that
Yeah.
day, I felt instantly better,
Yeah.
uh, in just being able to be honest about what my feelings were, or to pinpoint what my feelings were coming from.
Right.
And I think that's why I like that we're doing this much more casual episode
Mhm.
of, like, where we are and what we're working on now, because it can be so helpful simply being mindful of
Mhm.
what it is that what's bothering you,
Yeah.
and what you can perhaps be doing for yourself to make that go easier on you.
Yes. Absolutely. For sure. I know, I just saw a thing this morning that what, like, I felt like was a huge, like, mind-blowing, "Oh, this makes so much sense and
Lay it
explains
on us.
so much about what's going on with me." I watched, just, like, a quick reel from, I think, a psychologist or somebody who was explaining about how when you, are healing trauma, like, when you are a human with ADHD
Mhm.
and trauma, when you are going through and you are healing your trauma,
Mhm.
a lot of a lot of those individuals with ADHD and trauma have masked a lot of the ADHD symptoms, right?
Yes.
So, like in coping
Mhm.
to feel safe and secure and structured and all those things. So, I have apparently masked or whatever a lot of my ADHD symptoms in order to be functioning.
To survive
Right, right,
in the environment.
right. So, but I have over the course of the past few years been healing and am healing a tremendous amount of different things.
Mhm.
And just lately, I feel like my ADHD symptoms have been like
Rarin'.
they really have. Like my time blindness has been kind of all over the place. I feel like I'm struggling more with organization, just
Mhm.
like in general, like um my motivation. I feel like I don't know. I'm just like my ADHD is becoming more of an issue
Mhm.
than like the anxiety or the like fear-based
Trauma
trauma
responses.
responses that were the major issues that I was having more frequently.
Mhm.
So instead of like working myself into like a panic attack or something like that, I'm much more chill, but like my my house is a disaster.
Mhm.
So
Sure.
like I'm healing, but I'm also noticing that I'm, you know, struggling in other areas. So
I would love to offer you, if you're open to
mhm,
it, a view of the duality of that.
mhm,
Because, yes, I have full compassion for the struggle
mhm.
with that. That's so valid. And how beautiful that you've created such a safe space for yourself, that now you feel more able to be yourself, to
Right.
be more in that natural state.
Yeah.
And the beauty of that doesn't negate how you're struggling with it.
Right.
And the struggle also doesn't negate how beautiful that is, that you've created this area for you to be more yourself.
Yeah.
And I know that that's its own unique
Yes.
struggle
It
sometimes when
is.
those different behaviors come to the forefront
Yeah.
after deep healing.
Yeah. It's just a lot. So I'm just trying to be really like aware and like gentle with myself in that like, yeah, my house is a disaster, but like it's not a failure. It is
Mm-mm.
still kind of a win,
Totally.
but I also do need to work on it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I'm
Yep.
still aware that I need to work on it.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to just let my house go to shambles
Right.
because that's not okay. Um, so I need to keep an eye on it. I need to try and be mindful of it. And
Perhaps schedule it, since you said you
yes,
wanted to create a
yes,
schedule.
yes, yes, absolutely. So. It's just it was just really, like, mind-boggling and eye-opening and, like
Well, and also I imagine kind of validating when you heard
yes,
that.
yeah, because it really does explain, like, a lot. Like, it just
Mhm.
really seems to
Well,
say
and
a lot.
that goes kind of hand in hand with what we were talking about last episode
Mhm.
when we were talking about how when you heal things like on an identity level or a values level, then your behaviors start to change. There's that trickle
Yes.
down effect.
Mhm.
So now that you've changed some of your like deep trauma
Yeah.
and who you get to be for yourself, the identity that you get to be for
Right.
yourself, that's having that beautiful trickle down effect of
Yes.
like more freedom
Yeah.
in your behaviors. And now we get to look at what that next step
Yeah.
looks like
Yeah.
in who do you want to be as a human who is consistent with ADHD?
Yeah.
You don't have to answer that right now, but like it's a good question to maybe like journal on or let
Yeah.
percolate in the back of your head.
Right.
How when you envision yourself, these are
Mhm.
some coaching questions that I'm throwing out. So feel free to clock these for yourself for your own personal use. Like when you envision yourself
Mhm.
as a human who is consistent and has ADHD,
Yes.
what does that look like and what does that feel like for you? And again, you don't have to answer these right now, but
No.
they're really good ones
They are
too.
really good questions.
Figure out what you desire instead of focusing on what you don't desire. Because when we talk about like the laws of
Mhm.
manifestation, where your focus goes, your
Mhm.
energy flows. I think that's a
Right.
Tony Robbins quote.
Oh, I like that.
I mean, I have
I
conflicted feelings about Tony Robbins in general.
don't even
But
know who that is, so
oh, he's like a really big deal in the coaching
oh,
space.
okay.
Yeah, he does a lot of like corporate self-development type training. He
Oh.
holds like really large like rallies and stuff.
Oh.
Um I question some of his like ethical use of some neurolinguistic programming stuff, but that's
Ooh.
that's a conversation for another time.
I'm
I
very
I don't want to
interested.
like throw a bunch of shade at Tony Robbins because I think he also does a lot of like good for people. So
Mhm.
I think it's again looking at the dual perspective. But anyway, that idea of where your focus goes,
Right.
your energy flows, asking yourself when you envision
Mhm.
what you want to happen, what do you see, what do you feel? That helps you focus on what you desire as opposed to, well, I don't want to skip out on my work. I don't want to be this person who has a dirty house. I don't
Yeah.
want. So flipping it so that you focus on what you desire instead of
Yeah.
what you don't desire can be really helpful.
Like, I feel like I know what I want, and I feel like I've been saying it for a while, like
Mhm.
and I feel like I've said it in my house for a while. Like, I feel like I want, like, towards the end of the day, like, I want the whole house to do, like, a 20-minute tidy
Oh, I love that.
every day, and we turn on music
Mhm.
that we like and can dance to,
Mhm.
and, like, you get the bathroom, and you get the kitchen. Like, Mark gets the kitchen, and I get the living room, right? So we get, like, the 2 main rooms,
Yeah.
right? And a big kid gets the bathroom, somebody gets the, like, stair
Hallway or laundry
entryway
room
yeah, like,
or
laundry room, and then, like, for the first 10 minutes, we hit the big rooms, and then, like, the second 10 minutes, we hit our bedrooms or something,
I
or,
love
like, off
that.
and on. But it's, like, whole house engaged
Mhm.
and then, like, music playing because I know there is a lot of, like when we ask the kids to do a chore or, like, if we are sitting down at the end of the day because we're tired and I've thrown in a load of laundry and I
Mhm.
ask Lily to go advance the laundry and fold it, "Why
Mhm.
can't you do it, mom? You're not doing anything." And I'm sitting on the couch or whatever, in my chair
Right.
because I'm tired because 'cause I've been going all day. And I'm just like, "Are you kidding? Are you kidding me right now with this?" You know what I mean? And I don't say that to her, and I just, like, gently like, "Lily, we all live in this house. We have to work together right now. I need you to please do the thing I'm asking you to do. I understand that you're frustrated, and you can be frustrated. Please, please do the task I'm asking you to do." You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, but if we can all be engaged
Then that
And
helps it feel more like a team
like
effort.
everybody is doing it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that at the end of the day, I'm tired. And
Mhm.
I know at the end of the day, Mark is exhausted. He gets up
Mhm.
so early to go to work.
Well, and I'm sure to varying or large degrees, like, the kids are also tired.
Absolutely.
School is
Oh my gosh.
rough.
And being 12 and 13 in and of itself is
So
rough.
emotionally, like, full.
Yes. But we are all human beings who live in this one house.
Mhm.
There's 5 of us using this same bathroom.
So, when you say this beautiful system of you
Right.
guys, like, cleaning for 20 minutes a
Mhm.
night with the music on, how does that start? Who kicks that off? Again, you don't have to answer that now. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
I'm guess I'm just asking more questions that help you to, like, refine what you
Like
desire.
we can set an alarm on all of our phones. So
Mhm.
all of our phones go off at the same
Ooh, so then it's
time.
like a neutral reminder.
Yes.
No one's
So
kickstarting it, it
yeah.
just is.
Yes, and we can have a conversation together about picking what time, or it's right after we finish dinner, or you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's so that way we're all doing a thing. And you
Yeah.
know what I mean? I just that's what I so that when you ask me what does it look like? That's what
Mhm.
it in my head, that's what it looks like. So then there's music, there's laughing, there's smiles, there's
Community.
community, like, and we're all helping.
I love that. I think that's so beautiful.
And then Mark would say something right now about my hippy dippy baloney or something right now about like how I just want everybody to be happy and get along and work together. And that I'm not seeing how this is somehow not going to work because
Mhm.
one of the girls is probably going to say something to Max about how Max is not doing something right and they're going to argue and it's going to go wrong. Okay. Which might happen.
I mean, for sure. Here's the thing. We can envision everything that we want about what we desire, and once you put other people into the mix of that, you no longer get to control that because you don't get to control where their head's at that
Right.
day or
Right.
the emotions they're feeling or the fact that their little brother put one of their things in the wrong spot or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
So, I think it's a very beautiful vision. I
Yeah.
think that it's important to be able to inspire yourself with the ideal.
Yeah.
And it's okay if it doesn't look like that ideal every day or
Yeah.
even the first several times you're instituting something new.
I think the problem that I have is that that's what I want. I want for
Mhm.
everybody to pitch in because I am tired of
Being the only one doing things.
well, and I'm not the only
Well,
one.
okay,
Yeah,
you're right,
yes.
you're right.
But that is the feeling. That's the
Mhm.
feeling. That's not the facts. That is not the facts. The kids do help. Mark does help. Okay. But they also do leave mess that they don't pick up.
Mhm.
And it drives me nuts.
Sure.
And if I'm at home and I clean the kitchen
Mhm.
and then I'm gone for in the evening doing something and I come home after my art journaling
Event, yeah.
event and then come home and like there's wrappers out from dinner and pots and pans all over and
Then the
everything.
thing you just did becomes null again.
Yes. And then they get left there until the next day when I have to clean up that mess.
Mhm.
And then I'm not moving forward. Then I'm just cleaning up that mess. I'm not cleaning up anything else because I'm just re-cleaning up the mess that they made. I'm not moving forward. I'm not cleaning a bathroom
Mhm.
because I cleaned the kitchen yesterday. I'm just
Mhm.
re-cleaning the kitchen again.
I it makes me wonder what your guys' perspectives are, like, as listeners to this,
Yeah.
because I know that that's such a cyclical feeling, because I get that way with my own kitchen
Yeah.
sometimes, like, it's just the job that never ends.
How do I get ahead?
And I think one of the realities for me is that I
Yeah.
don't get ahead in the kitchen. My husband doesn't get to get ahead in the kitchen. It just letting myself sit with that reality can feel a little disheartening, and then it makes me consider it from a different perspective, right?
Mhm.
If it's something that never ends, then no matter what I'm doing, it's always progress.
Right.
Then no matter what little part I do,
Right.
because oftentimes in the kitchen, my part to play is throwing the trash away, like after my husband makes dinner,
Mhm.
and making sure that like food scraps get in the right place. And I wonder when my perspective shifted on this, that became just a thing I do and not like a, oh my god, it's happened again, like this is another thing. I'm not sure when that perspective shift happened for me.
Yeah. I feel kinda that way too, because I feel like the last couple like, even just this past week, I feel like that's happened for me a few times where, like, I've
That's
gone in
beautiful.
through the kitchen and, like, the stuff is there from the night before
Mhm.
because I've been out, and I think it's because I've been out being busy and Mark has been taking care of the kids and feeding them dinner or whatever,
Mhm.
and I haven't been there necessarily for dinner, but, um, like, I come home and then I eat whatever was there and rest or whatever, we watch a show, and then we go to bed. But then the next morning, he's up and gone for work he's to work by 6 a.m., and
Mhm.
then I get up, get the kids off to school, and walk into the kitchen to make my coffee,
Mhm.
and then there's mess, and while I'm making my coffee, I start picking up the trash and throwing it away
Mhm.
and rinsing the dishes that didn't get rinsed
Rinsed.
or start soaking the dishes that didn't get soaked, and, like, throwing the trash away and just tidying up, and then, like, I leave the kitchen after I've picked up the night before's, like, trash, and, like,
Mhm.
I'm not mad about it, whereas I feel like before I would have been, like,
Really upset with it.
super upset, like
That's kind of a nice
yeah, it is really
perspective
yeah,
shift.
because it's like, I'm standing there anyways, it's not really that much work for me, but
Mhm.
at the end of a super long work day for him,
Mhm.
and then he's standing there having to make dinner and
Mhm.
for the kids, right? And I guarantee you at least one, if not all 3 of them were probably standing there complaining about not wanting to eat whatever it was that he was making. I know how this goes. Um, you know what I mean? And he's standing there making dinner anyways. He's exhausted, and I get it. So he's just trying to get food made and in their bellies, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And, like, I super appreciate that. And he's
Oh, for sure.
tired. So, like, make the food, feed the kids,
Leave
like,
the mess. I'll get it
leave the
later.
trash, it's fine. Like, if it's a major spill or whatever, I'm sure he's gonna clean that up, but
Sure. Or the dogs would.
yeah, they definitely will. But it's just nice to be able to, I feel like, be in that I feel like there has been, like, a major shift here in just this past year in our relationship where I feel like we have shifted from, like, a and this has been very much in the work that Mark and I have done in that we have gone from, like, um kind of like holding on to things, like, against each other, like,
Yeah.
"Oh, like, I he did this thing, and I'm really angry that he did this thing, or he forgot this thing, and I'm so mad that he forgot this thing,"
Mhm.
to now we're not doing those things as much because I feel like every day we're remembering, like, "No, he's my partner, he's my teammate, like, I'm not
Mhm.
going to get mad because he left this trash out, I'm going to throw it away
Mhm.
because we're a team." Like,
Yeah.
I don't care because he's on my team. So as long as our team's trash gets put in the trash can,
Mhm.
we're golden.
I so love that you bring that up because I think that that's something that Carrie and I have done fairly naturally.
Mhm,
Um, he and I have discussed the cleaning from the point of view that I needed to contribute more.
mhm,
And we've worked through that. And I think, like I said last episode, I'm in a much better place with who I am as a person who can contribute consistently to cleaning the house because I was really I had some sort of executive dysfunction issue about cleaning,
Mhm.
and I think it came from some, like, childhood trauma about cleaning
Mhm.
or me sticking it to the man. Like,
Yeah,
when I moved
yeah,
out, I was very much like, "Well, fuck this. I don't have to clean this. I don't have to do anything.
yeah,
I'll leave the dishes in the sink." Like, I just was living my wild and free, like, traumatized
yeah,
life.
right.
And I think that's so interesting that you bring that up, especially about rappers, because I've
Mhm,
got a friend who is constantly upset that her husband leaves, like, little wrappers all
mhm,
around the house.
yeah,
And my like Carrie does that with Kleenexes because
yeah,
his allergies are always so bad
yeah,
that, like, if I didn't contribute to cleaning up the Kleenexes in our house,
yeah,
like, we would just be living on a fluffy mucus tissue cloud, like, everywhere. It
yeah,
would be confetti
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah,
And yeah, I think that's such an interesting perspective to think about it as, like, a team
yeah,
situation, because, like, I'm absolutely on team Carrie Clark.
yeah.
I'm so on that team.
Yeah,
Just like he's on team Caleb Avra.
yeah.
Like,
That's what and Mark and I have not always been like this, like, we've been together
mhm.
for almost I feel like how old is Max? 10? Like, 8 years. We've been together for, like, 8 years, and this is new, folks. This is new. This is very new. Um, not that we weren't a team before, but, like,
Having it apply to
having it
cleaning in this way.
applying to cleaning and stuff like this. We just it took us a long time, I think, because of other, like, relationship trauma and stuff.
Mhm.
We were very, uh it was just really hard for us to come together in the way that, like, we were all in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, now we are both, like, all in, and that's what we say, like, we are
Oh,
both all of the feets in. Like, how
that
many
is
feets?
so
All the
cute.
feets, yeah. And so, like, whereas, like, he'll leave his shorts or, like, the shorts he sleeps in or whatever in the
Mhm.
kitchen because he gets dressed and leaves in the morning,
Mhm.
right out of the kitchen because that's where he just gets and goes, so, like, he doesn't wake up anybody else in the house at
Sure.
5:30 in the morning. Um, like, I will pick them up and put them in the hamper. Like,
Mhm.
whereas before, I'm like, "Could you please stop leaving your gross shorts in the kitchen of all places?
Mhm.
Ew." Like,
Yeah.
no, he's half asleep leaving the house at 5:30 in the morning
Mhm.
because he's not waking us up at 5:30 in the morning. Thank
Mhm.
you.
I wonder if it comes from a place of being able to give yourself more self-compassion, that you are
Yes.
then able to lend, like, your partner more self-compassion. I know that's the case for me.
Yeah.
Like, when I don't want to make myself out to sound like I was a monster who never gave my partner self-compassion, like, before I made these changes, because I did. I think it was just more of a struggle to not also hold on to resentment at the
Mhm.
same time.
Yes.
Um, Now I find myself doing things without any type of resentment.
Mhm.
And or let me put it this way. I guess it was less resentment and more guilt driven on my part. Like, I would feel guilty that I wasn't contributing,
Mhm.
or I would feel guilty that maybe that I felt resentment. And
Yeah.
so, like, that guilt would help me have more compassion.
Right.
It's weird, y'all, when you start unpacking, like, the inner whys of how you did things in the past and
Right.
what caused what. Um, but I know that when I give myself more self-love and more
Mhm.
self-compassion, then I am more able to instantly give the benefit of the doubt to another person,
Yes.
as opposed to having to talk myself into giving them the benefit of the doubt. I think that's what it is.
Yes.
I was really good at always giving people the benefit of the doubt because I would have to talk myself into it. And now, being a more self-loving person, being a self-love coach,
Mhm.
I have now put that on autopilot rather than it
Yes.
being a struggle for me.
Absolutely. I think that is very on point because I remember talking about this with um, one of my good friends who was in the DBT program with me from like the
Mhm.
very beginning. Like we did the skills together, we did process
Yeah, yeah,
together, we went
yeah.
through like all of the stages together. And I just saw her kind of around Christmas time. And I was like, I remember talking to her and she's still in in her part of the program. And she is I was talking to her and I was like, um, figuring out how to love myself and how to be gentle with myself
Mhm.
in just these past few months, I feel like,
Mhm.
has been the biggest game changer. Because if I am able to be gentle with myself,
Mhm.
then I can be gentle with anybody because I will tell you what, out of all the people I've ever been mean to in my life, I guarantee you I've been the meanest to me.
Oh, 1000%.
And if
Absolutely.
I can figure it out and I can be nice and gentle and loving towards myself,
Mhm.
and I can because I deserve it.
It's true. Look at
Yeah,
you laying that out as like a proclamation
but
so
like
confidently.
but I do, and like and I once I figured that out and I started giving that to myself, it
Mhm.
was so easy to see, like,
Other opportunities to give that to
yes, to
others.
others and, like, to see just to see them, like, other people as, like, whole human beings, not
Yes.
like the piece of Mark, my partner, who pissed me off, you know what I mean?
Right.
But, like, all of Mark, who is, like, a whole human being who has all of his own background of shit going on,
Mhm.
who wakes up super early in the fucking morning to go work a very hard, intense, labor-intensive job all
Mhm.
day, who has to then come home and deal with my ass and all of our kids and dogs.
Your beautiful
Yes,
ass.
thank you. But you know what I mean? Like,
Be kind to yourself,
yes,
but
but
yes.
really, and like there's just so much more, and it's just been so much easier
Mhm.
to give the benefit of the doubt
Yes.
to humans.
And what's I think is so interesting as I'm like listening to us talk about this, it's very much a skill that I learned as a teacher to do for students.
Oh,
I would always see
yes.
them as a whole human person and always
Yes.
give the benefit of the doubt to like whatever situation they were walking in from that they have experienced with their family,
Mhm.
da 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 da. And I think that was a really nice like psychological roadmap
Yes.
for being able to do that for students,
Mhm.
then to be able to apply that to myself,
Yes.
then to be able to see how my applying that to myself makes me even better at applying
Yeah,
that to other people.
absolutely.
Because I know that there's such a tendency for some to have a martyr complex or
Yeah.
to give all of themselves and to think that other people are better than
Mhm.
themselves. And what I think is beautiful about that is that it gives you a blueprint to then apply to yourself, if you can see it in that way. Like, your love for other people
Mhm.
gets to be a blueprint for how you get to love yourself better. And you loving yourself get better gets to be a blueprint for how you get to love other people even more,
Okay.
even
That
better.
okay, that makes sense. It sounded like I was confused for a moment. That's
I was
clears it
not
up.
promoting, like,
Martyrism.
no, I was not
Okay,
promoting
okay, okay,
martyrism.
okay. I was confused, but you
From
cleared it up. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Cool, cool. Glad I cleared that up because I didn't want to
Yeah.
go on record as pro murder
No.
because I'm very anti that.
Very anti that. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So that's what we're working on, you guys.
Yeah.
What are you working on right now? What feels true for you as a thing that you're struggling with or trying to find tactics for or trying to build a new or different way for yourself? Because we're doing this life together.
Yeah.
us and you
And
and you
you.
and us.
And Rose, wherever
And
Rose
Rose,
is taking a little chill pill.
she's in her calming room.
Yeah, she's taking a little break.
Yeah, she's in her calm down. That's
She's
her room to just be herself and to
Yeah.
reconnect with calm.
Yeah. There's so
Mhm.
many new squirrels and sounds and
It's true.
smells.
It's where we get to help her save her from herself.
Mm-hmm. Spring is a lovely time for Rose.
Yes.
It's very, very exciting things happening. So she just needed a
So
moment
true.
to.
Yeah. Well, and I'll go wake her up from her nap and we'll have a fun afternoon. It'll be good. So, yeah, so tell us what's up with you. Because when we do life together like this, it's not a one-way street. I don't want it to
No.
just be us talking to the ether.
No. We're
I
talking
want
to
the
you.
ether to talk back. You're part of the ether, you listening right now.
Hey, you.
Hey, you.
Talk to us.
We love you guys so much. I don't know if you know this, but like when I think about this and we're sitting here talking, like I'm imagining all of the sweet beating hearts on the other side
Yeah.
of the camera. Like I'm imagining you, who you are, like listening to this podcast while you're in the bathtub or mowing the lawn since spring is approaching, or
Yeah.
in the car, or
Driving home from work.
or if you're like me and listening to a podcast is the only thing you can do, then just chilling on your couch while you listen to the podcast. I
Absolutely.
can't multitask.
Oh, yeah.
No. This is hard. This is not how my brain works.
That's fair.
Multitasking is a lie
Yeah.
for me.
I get that. I hear that.
So, anyway, thanks for doing life with us, you guys.
We super appreciate you.
We super freaking love you.
Yeah.
And we can't wait to see you next time. Next week is... Oh, I guess I don't know when this one's going to come out.
Yeah.
Never
It'll be a
mind.
surprise.
Yeah, it's a surprise.
Find us on Patreon.
Oh, yes, our Patreon is live now by the time you're listening to this. So you can search Your Soul Welcome on Patreon and we'll pop right up, or you can just look downstairs and I'll leave a link for you guys.
Yay, come find us and see what we're up to. We'll be posting pictures and audio clips and behind the
Yes,
scenes and chatting, and that's really what it's for. We want
it's
we
true.
want it so we can
We're
have legitimate conversations where you say some stuff to us and then we can say stuff back, and like it's like a back and forth.
Yes. And we're going to record our coffee chats so you get more deep, intimate realness with us.
Yeah, those are pretty silly.
I imagine it'll be much more similar to how this episode went. Very chill, very true to life.
Yes.
And I'm hoping you love that because I love hearing that kind of stuff from you guys too.
Yes.
So
come along
for the ride. We're all in it together.
Good job.
I don't know the song that you misquoted a couple episodes ago.
Have you never seen High School Musical?
No.
Okay, we're dressing up. Middle school slumber party. And we're watching it.
I don't know if I agree to that, but I did agree to the dressing up middle school style.
You don't want to watch High School Musical?
I don't know that I care. Guys, comment below. Should I care? This is why I haven't seen it. I don't know. I mean, I guess it does have Zac Efron. But at this point, Zac Efron is going to be so young to me that I'm going to feel real skeevy for liking
for
him.
For sure. Vanessa Hudgens, baby. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
well, we can maybe just listen to the music.
Comment below. If enough people comment, I'll agree to it.
High School Musical.
Help Ashley out, I guess.
Yes.
Or help me out if you really genuinely think that I'm missing out.
Genuinely missing out, for sure.
Okay, you guys, we're from the Midwest. Heyo. And I don't know if you know this, but when you're from the Midwest, there's something called the Midwest goodbye.
That's this.
That's what you're witnessing right now. The fact that we've tried to end this episode like thrice now, and still not done it. So this is called the Midwestern goodbye. And we're actually gonna say goodbye now. Well, knee slap. Well, we love you guys. Have an amazing day. We can't wait to do life with you next time. Okay. Love you. Bye.